Morning. Day 17, 26 days of you. It's beautiful. I think it's Saturday. Saturday the 24th, right? Um, what'd you dream about? Write them down. And I know that if you haven't done it already, you probably forgot them, or maybe you did wake up, you got them in your head a little bit. I don't know what it is, but recently I've been having some very vivid dreams. Very, very strange dreams, very vivid dreams. So I'm writing them down and trying to keep track and looking for messages. I think I got a good beat on what it is, but do it for yourself too. And your gratitude statement. Don't forget your gratitude statement. Did you work out already? Did you get your 800 sit-ups in, or your 300 sit-ups, or your 100 sit-ups, um, or your push-ups? Did you hit the weights already? Today was a sleep-in day for me. You saw me change the time. I was going to go live on here a couple times. Thought 7 o'clock would be a good idea because I'm an early riser. And when I got up at 4, it was, it's kind of cold outside. It's like 46 degrees right now. And when it's cold, it's good sleeping weather, right? So I cuddle up next to my wife. I roll over and tell you guys, okay, maybe not 7, maybe 8 o'clock, right? And I change the time. And then I can't lay there too long. My head gets moving and my body starts moving, and I'm up. So 7:30. How about that for a compromise? Beautiful day though. I I love the change in the weather. I really do. And change is automatic, right? So gratitude. Yeah, I'm grateful for, well, waking up on the right side of the grass this morning, right? Grateful for you as always. Do your gratitude statement. Make plans to get your workout in. Eat right. Have a great day. Let's get started. So I'll try and keep it short, right? I hear you throwing your smirks at me. When I put it out there to you guys, what do you want to talk about? I sincerely would like to know what's on your mind. And sometimes I get on automatic pilot and I'm so focused on all of the activities that I need to do during the day, or excuse me, all of the activities that I get to do during the day, that my mind doesn't go to empathetic goings on in the world. And we talked yesterday about the stuff that was on the news, and I shared with you some information that I learned as a financial consultant and focusing on the markets for a while in my life. And I hope that helped. I hope it was helpful. And it got us through day 17, right, or day 16. So I looked. I had one pair of students, great people. They're discussing yin and yang, and I can't remember. Let's see. We're talking about a balance. Do they balance, or do they oppose each other, or do they complement each other? And the answer, in my opinion, is yes to all of them. Now, if you guys know what yin and yang is, it's that a lot of people equate it to the Asian symbol. It really looks like two paisleys dancing, right? They kind of bounce around each other. Yin and yang has been, or yin and yang, or ong. I've heard different pronunciations. Yin and yang, you guys know what I'm talking about. I've heard it described as a lot of different things. And through my life, when you seek to learn, you listen to others and then you do your research. And I can tell you this, that just like, can I say this? Just like, I don't want to use the word religion, but I will. Remember, this is just a generalization, okay? Just like most religions, they're all headed in one direction for one reason, right? Um, the goodness, the kindness, the love, the betterment of humanity and you personally. Yin and yang, while it has many different definitions, they all kind of seem to be the same: good and evil, up and down, black and white, positive, negative, male, female. Now, wait a minute. Don't think positive, negative, male, and female in the same sentence. That's kind of, wow. That's an interesting concept. We'll have to come back to that one. But yeah, male and female, opposites that complement and and can oppose each other. Sure, um, opposition is not always a bad thing. Um, Opposition sometimes gets us to grow, lets us see maybe what we don't want, what we do want. Um, Opposition can make us think and either stand up and decide, no, I need to champion this idea versus that idea, or opposition can cause us to go, maybe I need to rethink what I'm doing here. So yin and yang. um, harmony and balance. And if you look at it, I don't know if I can draw you in. You guys know what it looks like, right? It's the paisley, and while the black one has a little white dot, or the dark one has a light dot, and the light one has a dark colored dot, whatever colors may be, it represents that there's a little piece of each other in the other one. Does that make sense? So you've got the big color and the big color, and then inside there's the same sharing colors. So while they oppose and complement and dissect and divide, they also are in harmony with each other. Good morning, Knife Princess. Good morning. Um, they still have a little bit of each other in them. Now, I want to give you my quick take on yin and yang, and it's not just about yin and yang. It's about separation and division as a whole. I was taught many years ago to do what's called free writing. Now, free writing, to be brief, just to get a pad and paper out and let it go. Kind of like a meditation, kind of like, I don't know what else you would call it. Let's just use meditation, but you just write whatever comes out. Now I'm speaking, right? Just free speaking. So I've evolved to just the speaking phase, or moved past. I can't write as fast as I think these days. Anyway, free writing. So you write down things and you just let it go. And I remember this one weekend. It was during some I don't want to say tumultuous. All life has ups and downs and struggles and growth. During a certain growth part in my life, um, the separation of me and my ex-wife, and what we were doing with the kids, and all the changes that were going on there. Caleb and Tracy. Um, I sat down for a whole weekend and I wrote this out, and I didn't read anything until the next weekend. You're not supposed to. You just kind of let it go. And then next weekend I read it, and what I read, and I know it sounds like freaky stuff, but good. I hope it freaks you out. Um, it didn't sound like me at all when I read it. I read it back, and it was something I'd never given any thought to, really. I mean, deeply. It was coherently deep for the time, as I thought I was fairly shallow at the moment during that part of my life. And what it pertained to was oneness. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but I'll share this with you because we're talking about yin and yang. The basic understanding of the 27 pages I wrote, and I'm talking little tiny writing, right? And I bet I still have them. Basically outlined the fact that one time in our history, and I'm not talking about 200 years, I'm not talking about 400 years, I'm talking about the history of the world and the beings that exist and existed back forever. Okay. We were one. And what I mean by that was we're still one, but we knew it and we acted as if. And there was no separation or division. Now, whether this is a hard factual truth, an analogy, or just a revelation in thought, don't 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 pigeonhole it and go, oh, the world's only this old, or don't do that to yourself. Listen to the philosophy, okay? It's pretty. I love it. Okay, we were all one, and what I mean by that is there was no division. And I'm not saying we were all the same color, we were all the same morph little blob floating around. That's not what I mean. Maybe it was, but that's not what I'm talking about. Listen to the words, think about the philosophy. We are all one. It wasn't until a consciousness approached and needed to define certain feelings, actions, objections, when the need for definition, when the need to explain, when the need to feel important rose greater than the common focus, we were divided simply by definition. It had nothing to do with anything else other than, hey, you know what? That's over there. We're right here. Well, now I can explain to you the feeling that that's over there and we're here. Yin and yang. There's a balance, but now we're separate. That's up. This is down. Wow. Let's look at this some more. That's you, and this is me. And as we did that, simple, harmless explanations of what is happening, right? So that now maybe we can communicate the experiences that we are consciously having in an outward experience, right? As soon as that happened, we were divided. We became separate. Pretty soon it was, I'm right, you're wrong. Um, I'm great, you're not. I'm rich, you're poor. I deserve, you don't. Uh, right? They oppose each other and they complement each other at the same time. Notice that they're still encased in the circle. The division exists within the oneness. While we are still one and we have this division, we can recognize division. And in my opinion, what I wrote was recognize division not as a compliment, not as an opposition, but as an opportunity. And what I mean by that is if I'm seeking something for myself, within myself, and I feel it's missing, guess where I can find it? In others. Why? Because we're all one. We're all one, and I can look to others to seek it. What if there's something about myself that I'm uncomfortable with, or I don't quite understand, and and I'm I'm feeling hateful about it? Where can I find the answers? In others. I can watch the actions of others and understand that that's maybe how I'm treating others. Let's pull it back to the other way because this is where I want to live. This is where I'm more comfortable as a whole, not as an I, which I've said several times. Right? We're trained to believe that, but as a whole. Does that make sense? And a lot of people say, we're one with God, we're one through God. Um, sure, absolutely. We're one with each other. Yes, for sure. Um, there are people across the pond, across the world that you may not agree with, and I don't agree with the way they do things. I don't know everything about them, but I know if they're hurting people, I can't believe that it's the right thing to do. That's me though, and maybe I'm the yin, maybe I'm the yang, but we exist together. Okay, that's my take on yin and yang. It's a small one, I know, but I love it. And if you put it into your kung fu or to your martial arts, and you have the hard without the soft, or the soft without the hard, or the depth without the surface, or the power without the knowledge, you have half the equation. And on the note of martial artists, I'll tell you what, some martial artists today are an angst in my ability to remain one and calm. And I'm sorry, it must be the fact that I've grown to a certain point that they're not there yet. They can't understand. This is a rant. I'm sorry. I understand things that some people can't because I've gone the distance. I went the route. I understand that, but I forget it sometimes. You have to forgive me, okay? Forgive me if I get a little lost. It's like trying to explain to a baby how to drive a car with some of these other martial artists who think they know what they're doing. And they're just at the baby steps. And bless their heart, everybody's got to start somewhere. But if you already know how to run the car, how to write the thesis, and you try to explain that to a baby, they're going to nix it because they're not ready for it. It doesn't mean they're stupid. It doesn't mean they're idiots. It just means they're not ready for it yet. And I got to remember that. 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 Okay? Help me. So, all right, moving forward. Who are you? And this kind of feeds into what I just said. Who are you? And we've talked about this before, and I love this idea because we live who we believe we are. We live who we believe we are. Now, I'm not asking you, who are you today? And you're supposed to have one idea of who you are because there's going to be many, okay? And you'll have to follow along here to catch it. If you go out and ask people sincerely and kindly, don't just walk up and go, who are you? Don't do that. But if you're having a conversation, you go, ask somebody, who are you really? Who are you? Can you tell me who you are? Most people will give you their job title. Well, I'm a police officer. That may be true, it may not be true. Well, I am a supermarket employee, or well, I am a stockbroker. Well, yes and no, because I believe that you are not what you do, but you do what you think you are. Let me give you an example, and I've used this example before. Alcoholics, and I'm not picking on alcoholics, people that smoke cigarettes. I'm not picking on you either. But if you're a smoker or a drinker or somebody who loves bad food, that's because you believe that's who you are. Follow me? Um, I've always smoked. I'm a smoker. Or I'm an alcoholic. Don't, no, no, no. If you're an alcoholic, what are you going to do? You're going to drink. That's what alcoholics do. If you believe you're an alcoholic, you will live the life you believe you are. It's just how it is, right? I'm an alcoholic. I got to drink. You're going to drink because you're an alcoholic. I'm a smoker. I'm trying to quit smoking. No, you're not. If you're a smoker, you're smoking, even if you try really hard not to. If you're somebody who used to smoke, stamp that label on your forehead. Ka-chunk. I used to. I don't do it anymore. Why? Because now you're the person who doesn't smoke. There you go. I'm big boned and I've always been fat and I can't lose any weight. No, 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 no. I don't have time to work out like everybody else has time to work out. You have the same amount of time we do, 24 hours a day. That's it, right? Um, Boy, we can talk about the marking of time too. Let's stay on track. So you act out who you are, who you believe you are. Today, what I'd like you to do for the week, if you can, if you got the time, write down a couple of things that you think define you. Me, I'm a singer, a songwriter, a martial artist. Now, these are things I do, right? Hmm. No. The actions that follow being a martial artist, my integrity, my morals, my honesty, my kindness, my ability to work through problems by using critical thinking. These are all things that a martial artist does. I know the babies, they don't understand that yet, but they'll get there. We're going to talk about that in a minute. As a singer, I don't just sing. Okay. As a singer, I learned to reflect what other songs and vocalists feel and the message they're sending across, at least the message I think they are, and what I feel, and I learned to convey that back through the use of my instruments, my body, and I share that with people. So to me, that's a singer, and I'm going to act accordingly, right? What about you? This is what I thought about on this note. As we're growing up, we learn to be certain people, right? And this was interesting for me. Um, I think the first person I learned to become, is that a grammatically proper? Anyway, the first person I learned to become was a friend. As a child, I didn't think about becoming a child. I didn't think about becoming a son. I didn't think about becoming a brother. That's not what I was thinking at the time. And I'm sure I wasn't thinking about becoming a friend, but think about it. When you start making friends, you want to be a friend and you want to make more friends. So now you start defining what is a friend. And I think that's maybe for sure I think it was the first person I became. Who are you? I'm a friend. And as children, we have lots of friends. We used to. I don't know what happened to it anymore, but we have lots of friends, right? So the first person I think I became was a friend. Then, if you look at it, when my sister was born, was I her friend or was I her brother? Well, I had no paradigm to compare myself to. She wasn't my brother. How do brothers treat each other? I don't know. So I'm going to try to become a brother. Well, what do? You listen to big brothers don't do that. Big brothers do this. Big brothers. And you become what other people think a big brother should be. But I'm still a friend. So you struggle. Am I your friend, Jill? Or am I your brother? Well, Jill and I were friends first. And we had a great time, I remember. Um, and then along came Paul. And it had to be Paul's big brother. And then came Tiffany. And that'd be Tiffany's big brother. And I love you guys all. But by that time, I knew what it was like to be a brother. And I'm sorry we had to become friends later. But at the time, I was your big brother, which I treated you differently than I did a friend. Ask Jill. Okay, but you survived. What does a big brother do? You tell me. A big brother. Never mind. So I think that's the first thing I became was a friend, and then a brother. And it wasn't until a lot later that I learned to become a son and or a real brother to be for that. I told you I was Jill's friend and stuff, but and Jill's my sister. Sorry. Um, I just assumed you guys knew. When I became a father, I was a husband first. But as a husband, all I knew was to be a friend until other people tell you what a husband is supposed to be. And then when you put that hat on at a young age and you try to become what others are telling you a husband should be, you change and you grow in directions that may or may not fit for you. And this is why it's so important to learn who we are. So I'm a young kid, I'm married, and we were friends first. Okay. And that's just how the relationship starts. And you grow that friendship and you become married, and then all of a sudden things change and now you're the husband, the wife. Well, how are we supposed to treat each other? What are we supposed to do? What's my responsibilities and your responsibilities? And you put the expectations on the other person, not knowing yourself what is really happening. Here it comes. um, and your friendship, if you're not careful, goes away, and you become people that you never knew you wanted to be, or you were, or you're not sure, and now you're a husband. Well, quickly after I became a husband, I became a father. Well, how does a father act? Well, we've got paradigms, right? We've got paradigms on how to become parents. What's the first one? Our parents. And what do most of us do in regards to our parents? I am not going to be a parent like that. When I have my kid, I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to spank my child. I'm not going to yell at my child. I'm not going to take things away from. And we're not. So we move away from what we don't think we want. And you know what? Our parents did the best they could. All of them do. And they were great people, but we're kids and we didn't know what it was like to be a parent. So now I'm a parent. Well, the first feeling as a parent of a parent is what? Unconditional love. When my daughter Desi was born, I'm gonna cry. I can't tell you. Everything else went away. Nothing else mattered at all the moment Desi was born. My first daughter was like, oh my gosh, I, nothing can top this. And I wanted to become a much better husband because now I'm a father, and father and husband are the same, right? Nope. Um, So how do I become a father? Well, I know what I don't want to do. Let's try everything else. And you stumble, you fall, you you make mistakes, and the kid grows up to be great anyway, right? How does that happen? So 11 months later, because now my wife and I are friends again, right? Well, kind of. Danielle's born, and my second daughter. I know, 11 months, right? Wasn't anything on TV. Um, and I didn't think it could get better. I, and holy crap, here's this beautiful little baby girl. I got Desiree, and now I'm gonna have to teach Desi how to be a sister. I don't know how to do that. I know how to be a brother, but I know how to be an older sibling. I'll teach her that. So I got Desi, wonderful, smart, beautiful little girl running around. Now 11 months, she wouldn't run around yet. But then I got Danny, and oh my God, my heart's just overflowing. So now I know how to be a dad, and I'm learning and I'm stumbling. And then comes little Sarah Jr. Oh man, and now we got three of them. Okay, and now, I need to be a better provider for my family. Morning, sir. Would have said something earlier, but my phone was being a jerk. Did it catch on fire too, Mr. Motley? I saw your truck. I'm sorry about that. Dodge, right? Anyway, let's go back. So I got little Sarah now, and then I got Rihanna. And when Rihanna was born, the friendship had dissipated between my wife and myself because we got hung up, I think, in trying to become people that we were not on the other end. She became, and I'm just analyzing this, but she became a very busy housewife right away, mother, staying home, it probably wasn't in her plan or who she really was, whether she did a good job or not. It just wasn't about that. And me, I tried to become all of these people that I really wasn't in the attempt to become a good father and a good husband. And I forgot really who I was. And I let all of me go to become something I thought others needed me to be. And in the process, we fell apart. And I'll tell you why, because eventually I did find myself again. I was always a martial artist. And when I really solidified that always, and I always taught, and it drew me away from the things that were keeping me from being the good father, the good husband, the good brother, the good. So as I became a father and a husband, looking back at my brothers and sisters, I became a better brother. And then after all of that, I became a good son. Took a while, but you look back at your parents after you grow up, and you will, or you do, and you go, I really love them. I know what they're going through now. I knew what they went through, and now I can be a better son or a better daughter. So who are you? All right. I hope that little story helped. Now I'm a 10th degree black belt. What the heck is a 10th degree black belt? And I tell you what, I still don't know entirely. Why? The ones I know personally and have had the opportunity to spend time with are regular people that know how to move very effectively in the martial arts. Some of them have taken their art to a deeper level. Some of them have not. That doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them good. And this is not a rant about 10th degree. It's a realization about me. So who am I? As a 10th degree black belt, I can make that anything I want. Anything. So these are the lessons I've learned over the years of becoming many people. I don't have to follow another paradigm of what other people think a 10th degree black belt is. Some people think that nobody deserves to be 10th. And I got news for them. They're the babies still, and they can't understand driving a car. It's okay. They will grow or they won't. As I become this 10th degree black belt, this is part of what I do. Everything that I've put into my art, and it wasn't just physical, it was philosophical, it was spiritual, it was physical for sure. It was an analyzation process, a cutting away, an adding to. I didn't just go into the arts to learn to move and kick people. Well, I started to kick people's butt, really. Let's be honest. I did. I wanted to beat people up that were being bullies. But my instructor allowed me to grow. He didn't say, get out of here. He allowed that to take place and allowed me to grow. And thank goodness that he did, because look, I'm pretty proud of where I am. And so a 10th degree black belt to me is a renaissance, a philosopher, a loving, caring human being, an empathetic, strong warrior. It's not just about kicking and punching. And I love that. Other people don't see it, but let me tell you something. If they look, eventually they'll learn to become the brother, the son, the husband, the father, the philosopher. I hope. Anyway, so who are you? Think about it. Let me know what you come up with. It's not going to be one word, okay? It's going to be, I'm a person who loves food. Well, what kind of food do you love? And what food loves your body? I can tell you by the shape of your body what you value the most in your diet and your exercise program. You can look around and see people and know, if you ask them, hey, do you work out? Because they look fit, you know what the answer is going to be. If you want to know if somebody works out, just ask them. They'll be more than happy to tell you. Trust me. Sometimes you don't have to ask them to tell. They'll tell you. It's okay. That's just what happens. You get proud of what you're doing and you tell people. But if you sit around and you eat and you don't exercise and you eat the wrong things or you do things to your body, I can tell you where your values are. I can tell you, just by looking at you, what you value the most about that. How about your skin, your eyes, and your cardio? If you're a smoker, you look different than other people. You do. Um, your skin shows, your teeth show it. Your cardio definitely shows it. Whether you think so or not, it the smell still is on you, whether you don't believe it or not. People can tell, smokers, especially if you're not a smoker like myself. Drinkers, if you drink, you get puffy. Uh, and your behavior, your there's demeanor, there's things that, and I'm not talking about occasional drinks. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I can tell you by looking at you what you value most. You can too, you know it. And me, sugar and soda makes me puffy. When you see there are different times that come on here, you can tell if I've been singing, had a weekend, had like 4 sodas on the weekend. You can tell. I can tell. And it's like, oh, why did I do that to myself? Well, because as a rock star, I'm not just a singer. And there are certain behaviors that used to go along with me being a rock star. I decided a long time ago, well, when I beat the big C, that if I got rid of being a singer, if I got rid of that, I could beat the disease. And it did. It worked. But I did it wrong. And I'll share this with you. I shouldn't have, well, no, I'm not going to say that because it worked. What I did was I quit it. I fired a couple of bands because of the stress. And I walked away from one great band because I felt it was stressful and I was sick and they deserve better. Right. And now I found another band that there's no stress. It's just fun. Um, and I'm doing it again. But the behaviors that come with it are not beneficial to my health. Now I'm talking about drugs. I don't do drugs. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about, every once in a while I have an occasional drink before the show because it calms me down. That doesn't help anything. And sodas. If I'm up late, my throat after I sing, the carbonation in the soda, these are my excuses, right? The carbonation in the soda makes my throat feel better. And it does, but there's other ways to get the carbonated water, right? There's other ways to calm your throat. And so what I'm doing is as I sing and continue to play the rock star, I'm changing the paradigm of what a rock star to me is. I'm going to blend the 10th degree black belt with the rock star. Well, I'm not just a rock star wannabe. I'm a 10th degree black belt rock star wannabe. And I go out and sing. And how does that 10th degree black belt act? Well, I get to choose, don't I? Because I'm up there. I get to choose, not up there. I'm over here. I get to choose what a 10th degree 10th degree black belt rock star wannabe is and how they act. And today is the first day of that. Yesterday was Thursday, Friday. Today's the first day of that. Does that make sense? I love you. I had one guy, Mr. Taylor, Grandmaster Taylor on here. He said, Mr. Adkins, you have more closings than a Pentecostal preacher. What the heck does that mean? I think I know. I love you. God bless. May God be with you. Have a fantastic day. Adios. Be good to yourselves or don't get caught. Or be good to yourselves if it's not against the law. Be good or don't get caught. I think that's what he means, right? I love you guys. Tomorrow's Sunday, the first day of the week. Decide who you're going to be. Decide who you are. Write this down and share it with me. This is an area of life I am very interested in. Write it down, okay? Write it down and share it with me. I hope you got the idea of yin and yang and that we are one. I love that you're a part of me and that I'm a part of you. I know it's kind of creepy, but it's really not. And tell your story. 33 minutes. I'm pretty good at this. I love you guys. I'll see you Sunday, maybe not early because there's a show tonight. Um, maybe on the road. I don't know. We'll see. Peace. There's another ending for you.